Hello students, welcome to all of you in my class. I am Rakesh Kumar. I hope all of you are fit and fine with your family members. So students, follow the norms and regulations and rules given by the administration or Indian government. Okay, so let's start today class. Today we will discuss chapter agriculture of geography of 10th class. My dear students, agriculture. First of all, what is agriculture? Raising crops or production of food and fodder crops or rearing animals, that comes or that is known as the agriculture. You know, agriculture is very important economic activity in our country, India. Why? Because 2/3 of Indian population, nearly more than 60% Indian population directly or indirectly engaged in agricultural activities. And agriculture that provide us food, fodder, and it also provide us the raw material that is required for agro-based industries. Agro-based industries like sugar industry, cotton textile industry, jute industry. Because all these industries, agro-based industries, they required their raw material that comes from agriculture, that comes from farms. You know, some physical factors and human factors also affect agriculture. That is not the part of this chapter, but I am discussing this. Like climate. Climate means weather condition, the temperature, and then the latitudinal location of the country or the area, which kind of wind blows over that area, what is the average temperature of that area, and even socio-cultural and socio-economic factors also influence agricultural activities. So in our country, India, we practice some different type of agricultures, or we practice different types of agricultural activities. So this is the main topic that we will discuss today. So the types of agriculture. Types of agriculture. First of all, the first type of agriculture that comes, that is primitive subsistence agriculture. Primitive subsistence agriculture, according to the name, that is practiced during the age-old time, or this is the type of ancient agriculture, age-old agriculture. हमारे जो एंसेस्टर्स, पूर्वज जो रहे हैं, उनके ज़माने से जो एग्रीकल्चर हम प्रैक्टिस करते आए. प्रिमिटिव. प्रिमिटिव मीन्स एक एज ओल्ड, प्राचीन कृषि. In this agriculture, in this primitive subsistence agriculture, what happens? It is practiced in some parts of India. It is also practiced in some parts of India today, and it is known by different names. It is known as jhuming, it is known as slash and burn. But first of all, let's discuss the characteristics of this primitive subsistence agriculture. In this agriculture, this type of agriculture is practiced on small plot of land. Means farms are not so large in size, they are very small. The size of farms is very small. The second characteristic, labor. Labor is done by family members. Or we can say community members. Labor is done by family or community members. And this type of agriculture is practiced mainly in the forest regions, in hilly regions, or the regions where the tribal population is living. So that's why they don't have much or higher level of technology or the machinery or tools. So they use their primitive tools. Tools, which kind of tools they use? They use the primitive tools like hoe, dao, digging sticks, sickle, जिसको हम अपने यहाँ खुरपा, द्रांती, कसी, फावड़ा ऐसे इनको कहा जाता है. And one more thing, the most important characteristic of this agriculture is, this agriculture is not able to produce enough food. Even the community or the tribal people or the farmers, those who practice this kind of agriculture, they don't get high level of production. Means production always remains low. So these are the characteristics of this primitive subsistence agriculture. Now another question regarding this. As I told you, this type of agriculture is known by different names. Slash and burn agriculture, zooming or zoom. So question comes here, what do you mean by slash and burn? Slash and burn. Slash and burn. Because it is known as slash and burn, because the tribal people or the farmers, they use a very small size of land or a small plot of land in this agriculture. First, they clear that patch of land. They cut down all the vegetation like tree, plants, grass that is grown in that area, and then they burn. They burn all these plants, their twigs, leaves, and then they mix the ash in the soil. And they practice this agriculture on that plot only for 2 or 3 years. Why? Because this type of agriculture is totally dependent on the natural fertility of soil. So after 2 to 3 years, or maybe after 4 years, when the soil starts losing its fertility, then they have to shift their land, or means they have to change the land for agriculture. And one more feature of this agriculture, primitive subsistence agriculture, is totally dependent on the climatic conditions. They never use any kind of chemical fertilizer. They never use any kind of modern machinery or modern tools. They never use the HYV seeds. They use the traditional seeds. So we can say this type of agriculture is totally depend on the climate, and they totally depend on the monsoon rainfall for irrigation. So this slash and burn agriculture, it is not only practiced in our country, India, it is practiced in so many parts of the world. And it is also known as by the different names. Milpa. It is known as milpa in Mexico or Central America. Ray in Vietnam. And it is known by so many other names. Ladang. And even in India, this primitive subsistence agriculture known by different names in different parts, in different states, different regions. Kumari, Valre, Valtre, Podu, Panda, so many other names. All these names are given in 10th class NCERT geography textbook in this chapter. So you can see it from your textbook. So next, let's discuss the next type of agriculture, that is the second type of agriculture is intensive subsistence agriculture. Intensive subsistence agriculture, it is also clearing its type by its name. Mainly this type of agriculture is practiced in those areas where the population pressure is very high and the land resource is limited. Let's take example of Haryana and Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, mainly the northern plains of India. In this northern plains in Ganga Valley, a lot of concentration of population is there. A large size of population lives here in northern plains. So that's why farmer use the modern techniques. So let's discuss the characteristics of this intensive subsistence agriculture. Modern inputs. We use the modern inputs, but not on so high level. We use the modern inputs on limited scale. Modern inputs like the HYV seeds, machinery like the combine machines, harvesters, tractors, so many other machinery tools that used in agriculture. And next, the labor. So in this type of agriculture, labor is done by the family members and labor is also hired on rent. And even on the place of labor, maximum works done by the modern inputs, modern machinery tools. Size of land, size of, or we can say the plot of farm, size of farm, that is also limited. Farmers tries to take more and more production from intensive subsistence agriculture. So that's why they use heavy doses of chemical fertilizers. Biochemical fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, or even insecticides, pesticides, but they use all these modern inputs in a limited way. And this type of agriculture tries to produce that can provide enough food for the population that lives in that area. Okay, so these are the some characteristics of intensive subsistence farming. Then let's discuss the next type of agriculture. Next is, the third one is commercial farming or commercial agriculture. As it is also clearing its name, commercial means the production for market. In this type of agriculture, the 100% production or maximum production that is ready to sell, that is only produced for the market purpose, for sale purpose. In this type of agriculture, modern machinery tools used, HYV seeds, heavy doses of chemical fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, and one another important feature of this commercial farming is land. In this agriculture, the farm size is very large. A very large size of farm is there in this type of agriculture. And one another important feature, that is labor. Maximum work is done by the machines and the labor that is hired on rent. As you know, the tea gardens, we can see in the movies or on TV. So in tea garden, we require the daily wages workers or the laborer that can pluck the tea leaves. So the labor is also used on high scale. And this, the main feature of this commercial agriculture, commercial farming, is the total production 100, we can say the maximum 100% production is go to the market for sale. And this commercial farming also provides support to agro-based industries. Agro-based industries that I told you earlier, sugarcane industry, that is totally based, sugar industry that is totally based on sugarcane, tea industry, coffee industry, and even banana. So these kind of industries, those who got their raw material from farm, they are supported by this commercial farming. But the degree of commercialization, it depends on area to area. Commercialization means कौन सी फसल मार्केट में कितनी बिकती है, वो जो लेवल है उसका, द डिग्री ऑफ कमर्शलाइजेशन, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन एरिया टू एरिया. लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल of our country. For example, rice. In Haryana and Punjab, the farmers that grow rice or wheat, they produce surplus, and after completing their family requirement, they sell all the surplus production into the market. On the other side, in West Bengal, Odisha, farmers, they produce only that is enough for their family requirement. वो इतना ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन नहीं कर पाते हैं कि वो उसको मार्केट में बेच सकें. तो इसलिए जो कमर्शियलाइजेशन है, फार्मिंग का या एग्रीकल्चर का वो एरिया टू एरिया वेरी करता है. ओके, सो दीज आर सम टाइप्स ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर दैट वी प्रैक्टिस in our country or worldwide. One more type of agriculture that comes, but that also comes under this commercial farming, that is called the plantation. As I told you, the single crop, what is the characteristic of this plantation agriculture? The single crop is produced or grown on large area. Banana, tea, coffee, rubber. So these are examples of plantation agriculture. So let's recall, we have done the three types of agriculture: primitive subsistence agriculture, intensive subsistence agriculture, and then commercial farming including the plantation. Then one more important topic that I will discuss with you, that is cropping pattern in India. In India, Indian farmers, they follow 3 different cropping patterns. अब ये पैटर्न्स क्या होते हैं? हम देखते हैं कि हमारे देश में एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम आता है जब किसान, हम चारों तरफ देखते हैं तो सिर्फ चावल ही चावल उगा होता है. ऑल राउंडर्स फार्मर प्रोड्यूस राइस और पैडी, एंड अनदर टाइम वी सी फार्मर्स आर प्रोड्यूसिंग व्हीट. जब चारों तरफ देखते हैं तो व्हीट. तो इस तरह से जो इंडियन फार्मर्स हैं वो 3 क्रॉपिंग पैटर्न्स, या हम कहें कि 3 डिफरेंट सीजन्स को फॉलो करते हैं. विच 3 सीजन्स? दीज आर रबी, सेकेंड ज़ैद, एंड थर्ड वन इज खारिफ. रबी, the crops grown in the Rabi season in the month of November and December. The seeds sown time is November to December, and it harvested in March to April month, and sometimes it harvested in till June month. So these are the months or the time period when farmers grow the Rabi crops. Which crops comes under this season, this Rabi season? Very simple to learn. In winter season हमारे नॉर्मली जो डाइट है उसमें हम कुछ चीज़ें खाते हैं और वो हमें अच्छे तरीके से याद रहती हैं. घर में क्या बनता है? सरसों का साग, मटर पनीर, गेहूं की रोटी हम खाते ही हैं, और इसी के साथ हम सरसों के साग में उसको टेस्ट लाने के लिए एक और चीज़ ऐड करते हैं, चना, चने के पत्ते. और गेहूं के साथ साथ हम देखते हैं कि गेहूं जैसा ही एक और चीज़ हम खेतों में प्रोड्यूस करते हैं इस टाइम पे, बार्ली. सो wheat, that is the main crop of this season. Barley, जौ, then peas, मटर, mustard and gram, chana. So these are the 5 major crops grown during this Rabi season. So very simple or very easy to learn: wheat, barley, peas, mustard, gram. Then Zaid. We'll discuss later Zaid first of all, then before Zaid, let's discuss Kharif. The crop, the seed sown season is, it begins from the June month, or we can say at the arrival of monsoon. As we know, the monsoon first comes in the southern part and later it takes nearly 1 month to cover all the parts of India. जैसे जैसे मॉनसून रेनफॉल इंडिया के नॉर्दर्न पार्ट्स की तरफ बढ़ती चली जाती है, वैसे वैसे खरीफ क्रॉप्स उगनी या उसको उगाया जाता है. एंड इट्स हार्वेस्टिंग, इट हार्वेस्टेड इन September month. Now, which crops falls under this Kharif season, Kharif crop pattern? The main crop is paddy. Or we can say rice, then maize, jowar, bajra, and the pulses like moong, soybean, urad, even cotton also. So cotton also comes under the Kharif season. And we can see these maize, jowar, bajra. These are the food as well as fodder crops. Means इनको खाने के तौर पे भी यूज़ किया जा सकता है, अनाज के तौर पे, और दूसरा पशुओं के लिए चारे के तौर पे भी यूज़ किया जाता है. सो दिस इज अबाउट द खरीफ सीजन. नाउ वन मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ खरीफ सीजन. In India, we produce, in our coastal regions, we produce 3 crops of rice throughout the year, and that is known as the As, Aman, Boro. Why all the year the coastal regions they produce rice? Because the climatic conditions are suitable in the coastal regions of India, in the coastal plains. Because the coastal plains they lies in the tropical zone, below the, in the south of the Tropic of Cancer. So the climatic conditions are suitable here in the coastal regions, eastern coastal plains and western coastal plains throughout the year. So climatic conditions are suitable throughout the year for the rice crop. That's why the farmers they produce rice throughout the year. साउथ इंडियन मूवीज़ में आप देखते होंगे कि जो खेत फील्ड्स जो फार्म्स दिखाए जाते हैं उनमें हमेशा वो चावल पैडी राइस ही लगा रहता है. तो जो कोस्टल रीजन्स हैं वहाँ पर साल में 3 बार चावल की खेती ली जाती है या उगाई जाती है. नेक्स्ट इज ज़ैद. ज़ैद कम्स अंडर और बिटवीन रबी एंड खारीफ. Here in the April month, Rabi season ends. Now the Zaid season starts. We can say it starts from April to June, because in June month the Kharif crop starts. April to June, a very small time period for this Zaid cropping pattern, Zaid crop pattern. So not so major crops grown during this time, only vegetables and we can say some fodder crops, or even the fruits, muskmelon, watermelon, pumpkin, these kind of vegetables or crops grown in the farms. So dear students, these 3 cropping patterns followed by the Indian farmers. So let's recall once again what we have discussed today in today's lecture. First of all, we discussed about the types of agriculture: primitive subsistence agriculture, intensive subsistence agriculture, and then commercial including plantation agriculture. And then we discussed about the cropping patterns followed by Indian farmers: Rabi, Zaid and Kharif. So students, I think this is enough for today's lecture. So in next lecture we will discuss about the different crops that grown in our country. So till then, goodbye. Stay tuned.